So this morning I ended up on Nebraska Talk, and it was a bunch of people crying, why does anybody care about Nebraska? When we voted for Kamala Harris, when I cast my vote for Harris, that was me saying, I care about you and I want you to survive and thrive. Okay, you knew better than anybody else that your state thrives and survives off of migrants' backs. Okay? And instead of them waiting for ICE to come, they decided to peace out before they could come and get them. I don't know what to tell you guys anymore. This is what you voted for. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to believe it or not, this is exactly what you voted for. And now you're feeling it. What do you want us to do? You want a government handout? That's socialism. You voted against that. No. Sadly, the reality is that you'll probably have to sell a lot of your farms for pennies on the dollar to large corporations and manufacturers. But don't worry, they'll probably let you work there for minimum wage.
The state of Nebraska has around and found out as they are ready to go bankrupt in the next 6 months. Their state's economy relies heavily on agriculture, and over 70% of their workforce is from undocumented immigrants. Knowing this, they voted for Trump, hoping that he would get rid of the undocumented immigrants. And now they are severely understaffed across the entire state, unable to find enough workers to replace the undocumented immigrants who supplied their state with enough workforce. This is the find out stage of fuck around and find out. In the next 6 months, the state of Nebraska will be entirely bankrupt, unable to support itself, and be looking for a bailout from the federal government. All because they let their racism and hate towards immigrants be more important than their economic livelihoods. There's nothing to feel bad about here. They voted for this. They knew exactly what they were voting for. Now they have what they wanted. Let's see how it turns out for them.
Guys, you never know the worth of something until you finally lose it. The moment that you do not have it and you really need it, that is when now you start reminiscing the past. You start having nostalgia and regrets. And that is exactly what is happening to Nebraska. Well, they knew what was coming if they were to vote MAGA in. And they did so. Reason? They thought that their jobs were being taken. But in real sense, the very jobs that are vacant right now are those that were done by the undocumented migrants, and now that they are gone, there's no one to fill them. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny, and if you're new, welcome to this channel. For those who are returning viewers, thank you so much for your support, your likes, and your comments. It has really shown me how you guys express your thoughts, and it has really propelled the channel forward. So thank you for sticking around. In today's video, we're talking about Nebraska farmers who did not listen. They made the bed and they are now supposed to lay in it, but they do not want to lay in it. And today's debate is about why Nebraska chose the Trump administration and how they are being neglected by the same government they chose. Before I come out with my commentary, I want you guys to listen to netizens' opinion, and then thereafter, I'm gonna share my own opinion and reflect on this matter to an extent.
On my feed at the moment, I'm getting a lot of like, don't you guys care about Nebraska? In 6 months, we're going to be out of money. Fafo. No, we don't care about Nebraska. We care about those tiny little blue purple dots. But your MAGA asses, we don't give a shit about. Because we now know, I mean, honestly, I don't think most of us knew this but we now know that Nebraska is somewhere between 45 and 65% undocumented labor. You in Nebraska had to have known that, because you went to the polls intentionally to get those undocumented people out of your state. What with their flavor and spices and ability to sway their hips and, stamp their feet in time to the music, you were fucking offended as hell. Now, there was that, disconnect between, they do all the work and they pay the taxes, but we want them out. I don't know, I guess you guys thought there was going to be some kind of surge of white people just be like, oh, thank the Lord, we've been looking for this job for forever. Please pay me less than minimum wage. I cannot wait. Oh, right, they didn't. And before ICE could even show up to get your undocumented workers out, they up and left, taking their tax payments with them, which was part of the reason why you guys will be out of money in 6 months. All that I want to lower my taxes shit, congratulations, now they're lower. We are sad that Nebraska might go under, because we understand what you guys raise and grow. We understand what will be missing. We're sad about it, but we knew what was going to go missing when Trump was, your top pick, your only pick. Did you even have another candidate? And when we read Project 2025, we knew what was coming. You must have known what was coming. You just somehow thought there was this, surplus of skilled white laborers just lollygagging, waiting for this moment. You could have called Florida and asked them how it was going there.
This to me is You voted for him, and now you're seeing the true colors. Now you want people to feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you, man. I don't feel sorry for you at all. You knew this was gonna happen, and now you want people to pity party. Nah. This is your issue. Now you're gonna have to actually work. I don't give a F. You wanted Trump. You advocated for Trump. Now you got what you wanted. Now enjoy your next 4 years, because it's only gonna get worse.
Not the Nebraska farmers going bankrupt by voting for Donald Trump. Like, I don't give a shit. You guys voted for it. Fucking take the consequences. Fuck you guys.
So Nebraska, which is a red state, is still scheduled to go broke in 6 months, and the residents are very unhappy about it. And they had this to say.
So are we going to sit at home on the couch and let these billionaires control the country? Hell no. We are the poor people. We're a red state.
Now, that was a 5-minute video that I cut down to that about 10-second clip that I just showed you, because what that man said in that clip was so significant. It really, really stuck out to me. The part where he said, we're a red state, really, really stuck out to me, and further reinforces when we always say that many people who voted for this administration believed that the policies of this administration would not affect they asses. Y'all fucked around, and now it's time for y'all to find out. Y'all voted for hate, even with the possibility that you might go hungry, even with the possibility that it might affect your health. Y'all voted for hate. Congratulations on getting what you voted for.
Racism is expensive, and corporations and billionaires don't care about you. This is probably breaking news to many who support and applaud mass deportations. Well, the people in Nebraska, the state of Nebraska, is starting to find out how expensive both of those things are, how expensive racism is, and how much corporations and the billionaires don't care about the working class, minorities, poor people, black people, and other non-billionaires. Well, here we go. So I hear Nebraska is on the brink of bankruptcy, although it seems that they have found a little band-aid to put on their self-inflicted gashing wound by choosing and supporting mass deportations, which hurts their farms because it takes away the migrant workers who, instead of waiting for ICE agents to go and round them up and jam-pack them into some of those private prisons like Core Civic, and continue to enrich the billionaires while they lose while the farmers lose their workers. The migrants decided to self-deport to places where they can be and be okay, and not be in a community and communities of people who applaud and support mass deportations.
I find it hard to understand. In the previous administration, people are crying that their jobs are being taken by migrants. Why can they not take the chance to take these new jobs? Of course, I know it's gonna be difficult because I don't think no one born in the United States wants to work for $11 an hour. That is really low. Yeah, I saw some firms who are offering job opportunities for such rates. Imagine working for that, like, let's say 8 hours. It's not worth it. Going home with $88 in a day and you haven't worked like that manual labor or labor. It's just not it. And now it's even worse because no US citizens wants to work in that farm. And also there is shortage of migrants, and the very same farmers cannot also go to the farms. I think because of their age they can do that. It's a a lose-lose situation. I don't know how it's gonna pan out to be.
Have y'all seen that lady from Nebraska? Don't worry, I'm going to put it down here. She was one of the ones who came out and said, we voted for this and we regret it. She's one of the ones that's actually remorseful, not one of the ones that's coming on here going, yes, I asked for this, but please don't tell me how it's my fault that my consequences are affecting me and not just the people I hate now. I don't want to hear it, okay? Not that we don't care about them. But this one, they're cattle farmers. And I guess Nebraska's on track to go bankrupt in like 2 quarters. Okay. And the most interesting part of the piece that she put up, and I'm not saying this to throw shade, I'm saying it to emphasize what's up. Okay. She says, we knew that they were going to be coming for the undocumented. And here, almost everyone's a farmer of some kind, and 70% of our workforce is immigrant labor. And while we knew they were going to be coming for the undocumented, and we knew 70% of our workforce was going to fall into that category, we still supported this. And now thinking about it, I'm going to say it one more time, and now thinking about it, they realize it didn't make sense to support something that went against their own interests and to put their support in something that is now feeding their own demise. And I appreciate her for coming on here and giving these updates and just saying, with each time, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like in retrospect, I can't believe I did that. In looking back, this made no sense. I did it anyway, knowing it didn't make sense. I appreciate her for that. Because we've got too many that are just incapable of doing that. Just incapable of saying, wow, yeah, I convinced myself to go against my own interests. Why did I do that? Like, that is work. That's self-work. Okay. And that's what we have room for. We have room for people that are like, wow, I now want to look into why I convinced myself to do something that was not going to help me. Why did I do that? We need more of that. And less people going, yeah, well, I'm just going to hold on to my hate and rage and anger, and I'm going to blame everyone else. And you know what? Yeah, I'm going to fight to keep my job. I'm getting a lawyer. Okay, I'm fighting this. I don't care if I asked for it. This isn't fair to me. It's not supposed to affect me. What about me and me and me? We don't care about them. Like I said, they can go fend for themselves. They can go fund themselves. But yeah, it's very interesting. So these states that are already on track to go bankrupt just with the policies themselves, okay? Because she's like, people aren't showing up to work. I mean, whole thing, okay? And then blue states, these cesspool states that are providing all the federal taxes, people who live in states like Oklahoma who can't afford a plane ticket out here for the weekend love to talk about how this place is a cesspool, but they need our money to survive and to support themselves. Yeah, I am all for all of these blue states holding on to their money. I'm not interested in paying this regime. I'm interested in California independence or joining Canada or almost any other country but this one. And I would love to see how states like Nebraska plan on funding themselves when we aren't the ones putting into the pot anymore. We're going to keep our dirty little blue cesspool dollars to ourselves. How about that? Like, go ahead. Give it a watch. I give her props. And keep it rolling. Because that's an area, that's a state where the administration is trying to tell you that we're traveling out there to their town halls. Okay, she's in one of the states where they're trying to tell you that it's us that are upset at the town halls. We're traveling out to cow country and removing our dreads and our blue hair to go make red legislators look bad. That's what we're doing. They wish they lived in our heads that much.
My work closed early tonight because ICE raided Broadway in Nashville. They went into the bars, specifically the kitchens of the bars, and they racially profiled a lot of the workers in there, detained them illegally, searched a lot of these places without warrants. Now, a lot of the workers who are dragged away from their jobs are being detained indefinitely until they can prove their citizenship. There's no telling how long they'll be detained. It could be 2 days, it could be 2 months. But a lot of very hardworking people, mothers, fathers, people supporting their families, went to work tonight and don't know when they're going to be going home or dragged away in the middle of doing their jobs. Like, it's extremely important to talk about the fact that this is happening all over the United States. This is what your tax money is being spent on, and more importantly, it's being spent illegally. So yeah, this is real. It's happening. It's tearing families apart. It's ruining lives. It's illegal. And we're only 5 months in.
The state of Nebraska is really on its knees and the bankruptcy is inevitable. Remember, people said like early in the month of February or March, they are saying that in the next 6 months, it was just inevitable. They are going to be bankrupt. And it seems like it's happening because look at it. In the year 2024, just before the elections, already the farmers were feeling the heat. And now it gets even worse. In 2025, Trump administration has gotten in and now the immigration policies has been enforced. It means that people are no longer going to work in farms. And that means that farmers are being forced to file for bankruptcy to receive aid in order to manage their farms. And as soon as the farmers file bankruptcy, some of these aid programs were scrapped off. Now, this means that the farmers are being left hanging, especially those who filed for bankruptcy. That means that you do not have aid no more to help you run your farm, and you cannot put in your cash in there because you filed for bankruptcy. It now leaves the farm to just, lie there useless. You had planted crops already, that means that they're getting destroyed because farms need someone to tend for your crops, like to weed them out, to spray the vegetations, harvest, things like that. It means that everything is gonna stop just because you do not have human resource or human labor to work on those farms. It's really interesting to see where or who they will turn to in order to tend for their farms. Let's say a farmer has a family of, let's say, like 7 or 8 people. There's no way he's gonna tend for hundreds and hundreds of acres. It seems like other states are not gonna support them like they anticipated. Anyways, guys, what do you think about these all issues? Do you think Nebraska will come out of this alive? In quotes, alive? Do you think the other farmers in other states are gonna support Nebraska, or the taxpayers' money are gonna go to support the farmers in Nebraska who have filed for bankruptcy in order to run the farms? Would they also find people to tend for their farms in the near future, especially now that the immigrants have checked out of the farms? Let me know in the comment section down there below. Share your thoughts. Also, don't forget to check the original creators. Their usernames have been embedded in the stitch videos as always. Go onto their TikToks, follow, smash a like for this video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, turn on post notifications so that you may not miss my next upload. And with that, guys, let me meet you in my next video. Peace out.